Hey, welcome to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, so roles can be reversed. Flip it, switch it, twist it, just interpret the message as it best resonates for you. Never force anything. Also, know that my readings are considered to be healing readings. So I look at the shadows, I look at the inner child wounds, I look at the triggers, I look at the karmic experiences that fold out, and I try and figure out how to balance out the situation, not just what's going to happen. Because a lot of times when you're dealing with a soulmate twin flame, you're dealing with any soul relationship, it's going to be triggering. It's a divine connection, meaning spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it, brought this person into your life. There's a soul recognition. You knew this person from a past life, and there were lessons that needed to be learned. And so the karmic themes are the lessons. So whether you need to learn a lesson of self-love, whether you need to learn forgiveness, whether you need whatever it is, the lesson. And then once you learn the lesson, you transcend. The whole point of being here is to evolve into the highest state of consciousness, which is unconditional love. When we have shadows, those are the blocks. So that's why we look at what's blocking you so that you can actually change your reality. You can actually shape shift your situation into the situation that you want to have. Now you may say, no, I'm dealing with a soulmate or I'm dealing with a toxic person. When you change, that toxic person is forced to change, whether they want to or not. Now, does that mean that you get to be with that person? Not all the time, but you definitely change them. And if they have feelings towards you, even if they don't express them, believe me, your presence or whatever that you did has impacted that person. It's just the way that it goes. I mean, unconditional love is what a soul past life connection usually represents. So that person may not want to love you. You may not want to love that person, but nevertheless, it's you're learning, and you're learning through this person, and you're learning that unconditional love sometimes is difficult, sometimes it's ugly, sometimes it's hard. So just keep that in mind when listening to these readings, because it's not just going to be what your person's going to do. We want to see why they're doing what they're doing. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, all you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word in your comment bar. So let's see what the word is going to be. The word is going to be two words: spirit descending. Spirit descending. So there is a dust part of self, which is a part of self that when you look in the mirror, that's what you identify with. You identify this part of yourself with all the experiences that you've ever lived, and whether you had good experiences or bad experiences, you perceive yourself through those experiences. And then you form habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with those perceptions. So when you have a spiritual block, it's because unfortunately, the experience brought some sort of trauma. Now, there is physical trauma, there's also emotional trauma, and there's psychological trauma. And we get the psychological trauma and the emotional trauma a lot of times from our relationships, and which do, by the way, the same exact type of damage as physical trauma does. However, not until recently has psychic trauma and psychological trauma. And psychic trauma is, again, that trauma that is like gaslighting. Like, you can feel it, you know that it's happening, but it's still psychological trauma because it's creating a perception. The environment is creating, or the situation created a perception that took you out of empowerment and put you in a place of disempowerment, which could be fearful. So again, learning that you're not separate from God obviously is to be in the space of unconditional love at ease when we're at the most comfortable energy. And that's when we're at peace. That's when we're at the exact vibration as the universe, which is again the same exact energy as God. So it's again when we're out of balance, we're fearful, and we again our character is in alignment with fearful. Okay, so spirit descending actually means that there's the spirit part of self, um, which is your essence, and then there's which is your unique individuality, your essence, your passions, and then there's actually the soul that's connected to God, that's connected to um, collective. So we when the spirit descending, it's you're taking the higher self and you're grounding it into the physical realm. So this is the underlining energy. So you may be a spiritualist, you may be somebody that's really um, studying spiritual laws right now. You may be, again, going through a spiritual awakening. You might be on your spiritual path. This is the energy right now. So, again, if you're going to want to enter into winning of reading, you're going to also write this word in your comment bar, and you'll know if I chose you if I wrote the word winner underneath, which just correspond back and forth on YouTube. But understand that this also is the energy of where you are right now. And that's important. And the reason why is because if you're dealing with karmic, you're actually in full control of your situation. Because when the spirit descends, again, it means that you're grounded. Only in the now do you get divine guidance. Through gut, intuition, inner knowing, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You don't move you. When they say Jesus take the wheel, what that actually means is that you're letting the higher self lead you. That's when your spirit descends. So it doesn't mean that everything's all rosy. You may be in a good vibration because you are, again, choosing to be in this energy of the higher self. So this is the best place to be in actuality because you can be in a place of surrender. Whatever happens, happens. You're not in control. You're letting spirit work through you. It doesn't mean that you might not get triggered, but the triggers aren't debilitating you. So if you're dealing with a karmic mate, that's really good because you don't want to be triggered. But this is the energy that you're in right now. Okay. Now let's see what's going on. I like that energy. Again, the spirit descending energy. So if you're dealing with a person, let's see what that energy just kind of flipped over. You're projecting your own fears and limitations onto me. Go within to understand that you are seeing yourself, not me. So this would understand, it says again, you are not being affected by someone that you're connected to. Someone's being very affected by you, though. They don't understand why you're not being affected by them because I feel like they have a big ego and they usually get their way. And the reason why is because you're in this energy where you're whatever happens, happens. Like Jesus, take the wheel. Like you're putting a lot of energy into business. You're putting a lot of energy into yourself, which I know that because when the spirit descends, it only descends by you giving yourself the love and the nurturing that you need. Possibly the energy that someone else isn't giving you, which is very healing. And so this is in actuality, too many cards. This is in actuality how you can manipulate somebody. You can, and when I mean manipulate, I don't mean in a toxic way. If you're dealing with somebody that emotionally won't budge, they don't want to see your point of view. They know that you care about them so much, that you have such strong feelings for them, that you're, again, not going to budge. So they, shut their feelings off. They shut their emotions off. They try to ignore you. They expect you to react because they know how much you care about them. That's normally what happens for them. This isn't what happened. And this is the energy there. What happened is instead it the energy that they put out bounced off of you and went back onto them, and they're the person that's experiencing it. I wish you could see that we are mirroring each other right now. It's the same exact card, that it's again mirroring. So this tells me that you are in a connection with a soulmate twin flame. You're not together right now. And instead of you really being triggered by this person, you put the energy into yourself. And I feel like it's making this person get out of their ego after a while. That's what happens. Like when the ego doesn't get its way, eventually we get very emotional. We try to control. And that's what I felt. I felt like the person you're connected to is getting very triggered. And I understand you would be triggered by them a lot if you weren't in your power. Please send me energetic support. Use the frequency of love to uplift me because I need your help. So again, your person's in separation. And that's not uncommon. Listen, when you have a soulmate twin flame connection, it's not uncommon for this connection to come into your life when there needs to be a full change in your life. And you're willing actually to do the work, because there's a divine order to things. There's a spiritual, energetic way to how the universe works. We're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest. We're supposed to learn we're not separate from God, separate from love. You, again, are a twin flame soulmate to this person. You definitely are mirroring each other, only you're not, you're feeling the energy. It's not like you're not. It's just you're not reacting to it. And in the fact that you're not reacting, your person is getting emotional. And so they are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So they want you to send them energy almost so that, again, they don't have to reach out to you. They still have a pretty big ego. And when I say send energy, when you're a soulmate twin flame, you can feel when your person is near you. You can feel when they're away. You can feel when they're angry. You can feel when they're not. There's an internal knowing. Remember, this is a past life connection. So there, even though you may not say, I know this person, you know this person. So, and I know this because the next card that I pulled was this one, and it's I'm accessing past life wisdom. It's helping me understand things with a new perspective. So again, this is a divine connection, and a divine connection that mainly it's brought you two together for healing. However, it didn't go quite the way that the person that you're connected to thought. Their use of, I feel that they blamed a lot on you, because I feel as if you're very outspoken. You're someone that speaks your truth. You're someone that doesn't sugarcoat. And your person is the type of person that does sugarcoat. They will smile in your face and say nice things, but then their actions are not in alignment with those nice words. And because you come across as very, again, straight to the point, they consider it a little bit rude, and they get stuck in that. Like you almost hurt their feelings, and they don't look at what they do. They look at your reaction, your response. So there's a little bit of, again, where like you guys can't really seem to get on the same page, which is why you're in separation right now. I just feel like your person is starting to realize that it's not all you, and it's because they're being triggered. You're not. I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge the situation instead of surrender to it, which is common when it's a soulmate twin flame relationship, because it's like I don't really want to surrender, because surrendering means I need to heal. This relationship, soulmate twin flame relationship, there's so much passion, there's such a deep connection, it's so overstimulating for someone that's not emotionally intelligent, someone that has a big ego, someone that's usually in full control of the relationship and has been out of balance. They're willing to make changes in their life because you've come into their life. And again, there's a divine order to the way that spiritual law works. When we're open to healing, when we want to heal, when we ask for healing, spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it, constructs to bring you the people, situations, and experiences that are going to help you heal. So this, again, relationship is not an easy relationship. Soulmate twin flame relationships are not an easy relationship. It's forcing your person to realize that this connection is a lot deeper than something that they can control. They've always acted from their ego, like I said, so they don't like this energy because they're not in control, right? Which is why they're like, I know that the universe has brought this relationship together, but I, want to control it because I'm getting triggered. I don't feel safe. But that's because of their wounds. And I feel like that because of their wounds, it doesn't make you feel safe. I'm not going to give into fear. I know fear is only an illusion. So I feel like your person is a little backwards, because there's a sense of them giving into you is almost like as if they feel as if they're giving in to fear instead of them surrendering. And this is where the psychological reversal comes in. When a person sabotages themselves, there's a spiritual block. It's because at one time they dealt with a very similar situation, maybe the same karmic theme, where they always got their way, they're not used to putting in energy, that they got triggered a lot, but in the fact that they would get triggered, they would just shut their emotions off and have the other person react, and then the relationship would just get kind of go back to where they wanted it to be, and that's not working now. Like I said, so there's a sense that they actually have to go through this experience in order to heal it. That's how we integrate the spiritual lesson. Okay, the universe brought us together for a reason. I am discovering what these reasons are. They're all these messages are literally redundant. And it's like I'm accessing past life. The universe brought us together. Like I realized that the universe brought us together. We're projecting, which is all about the universe bringing us together to make us look at our own wounds. However, I do love you. I still have that connection to you, that your person hasn't lost the scope of things, which is I still have strong feelings for you. I still know that you're a soulmate. I still know that you're important, but you trigger the shit out of me. You make me look at things within myself that create a lot of wounds. So I want you near me. I want to know that you still care about me. I want to know, but also I am terrified of this connection. And you're not reacting. And I feel like you kind of know that you can't react, because that's what this person, the moment that you react is then they pull back and don't give you anything else, because they intuitively try to read what you're going to do and how you feel about them, instead of actually have a conversation. And because of that, we're going to look at some of their hidden truths, because, and look at some of their hidden truths. And the reason why is because just because a person acts like this doesn't mean that they don't care, or they might really not care that much and they're just toying with you, or they could just have their ego running the show. And they'll know if they'll have their ego running the show. But we're going to see. I wish I could share my good news with you. So again, they're making changes in their life. But again, they're separate from you. And they're separate from you mainly because, again, you guys trigger the shit out of each other. And I feel like when your soulmate twin flame, you're like complete opposite. And the thing with these type relationships is when they're not healed, they can be very toxic and very codependent. And I feel like your person at one time, like, and maybe it was that their past relationship was very codependent and was in a toxic relationship. I feel like your person doesn't want to be toxic. And I feel like the way that you're handling their situation by not reacting is not fueling that. And what they're seeing is like that they're really the toxic one because the fact that you're not reacting. And that's making them look at this connection because normally they wouldn't give a shit. Normally they'd be like, it's because this is, again, a very deep spiritual connection. So spiritual connections can be really confusing because there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of connection, but it triggers you. And then it's like, how do you deal with the triggers? That's why we do these type of readings on this channel, because it's like, it's not a question of love. It's a question of why did Spirit bring this person into my life? And what can I do to balance out the connection if I want the connection to work? Or what is the bigger meaning to why certain events are unfolding, or why I'm getting triggered, or why I'm reacting the way that I am? And if I need healing, how can I heal? How can I implement new habits and behaviorisms and actions to change in order to, get the reality that I want? Because if this person is a soulmate twin flame, it could actually work out. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to do the work for both of you. But remember, if this person triggers you and you trigger this person and you figure out a way to not trigger, because what it looks like here is like they almost like reacted when you said something, which is what caused the separation. And now that you're separated, you're mirroring each other, only you're not outwardly showing it, but you are feeling it. Your spirit's descending, so your choice of focus is mainly on creating and putting your energy and self-love into yourself, which is now triggering this person, which would needed to happen for them to heal. Where for you, I don't believe that you needed to heal from the same thing. You might have needed to heal by putting more energy into your craft, by putting more energy into yourself, by giving yourself self-love. But let's look at what their hidden truths are, because again, we can see sabotaging behavior by what a person really feels, what their intentions are, why their intentions are the way that they are. Okay, let's see. Sometimes I stay awake thinking of you. I know I messed up everything. I want to tell you how I feel. So they're in a place again of regret, and they're in a place of, again, being forced to look at how they acted and seeing that they're kind of toxic themselves. And that happens if you were in a relationship with someone toxic before and you are not emotionally intelligent and you don't want to express yourself, which this person does not want to do. So again, they get what they want by triggering people that they're with, which their relationships then never work out, which is why they don't really trust themselves in relationships. So they sabotage themselves a lot, but they're in regret now. And this is good, because whether you want to be with them or not, it's good because it's forcing them to change. And that's good because, just because it doesn't work out with you doesn't mean that you want this person to go around like, triggering people. It's like being with an energy vampire. It's being with somebody that wants to steal your energy all the time. You don't, it's, if your energy is being drained that way, then you can't be productive. You can't create anything positive in your life. I want to feel that way again. And the reason why is that you're in separation. So they're almost like putting you on a pedestal right now. It's like because you didn't really do anything. There was this unconditional love there to begin with. This person got triggered, reacted, doesn't want to like apologize, kind of wants to send out like ESP messages, hope that you get them, or hope that you'll miss them. And, but what's happening is it's like watching like water boil. This person's like waiting and watching and it feels like it's taking forever, so like it's affecting them, and like it's not affecting you. It's not saying that it's not triggering you, but not affecting you where you're going to react. This person is very reactionary. It's when they get emotional, they react. They need to do healing. I am afraid to contact you. And see, it's again because they know that they acted like a jerk. So they're like kind of stuck because they're like, I don't know how you're going to react. I don't know how you're going to respond to me. You may like flip out. You may not. They are hoping you contact them instead. They don't really know what to do. This person is not very mature. I want to look at the wounds and then let's look and see what they're actually going to do. Because right now, what it looks like is that they're terrified to do something. However, they're very uncomfortable. And this is a good place for them to be if you want them to come back. Because like I said, eventually what they're going to see is that they can't control love, that they can't control this situation. They've tried to control this situation, by emotionally manipulating you, and it's not working. And their whole little plan backfired on them. Parasite. So again, like a parasite is someone that like drains your energy, right? Someone that like comes on you. So you have to be careful because this person really needs a lot of healing, which I've been saying. But is this me? See, this person is again starting to take a real big look at themselves and starting to see, traits that they didn't really see before. And that again happens a lot of times when you're in a toxic relationship for a long time and then you get out of that toxic relationship. What you identify with love is not love. You realize it's control, it's dominance, it's like I said, it's very codependent, and it's very toxic. And it's almost like when there's an argument, it's a one-up and it's a control you. And so this person kind of took that approach with you, and I don't really believe that you did anything to cause that, which, again, when a person needs healing, their perceptions of themselves, of how they view things, of how they hear things is distorted. And a lot of times they don't listen fully. Remember, the amygdala is a gland in your brain. That's job is to sense out any outside stimuli that corresponds with a wound. And this person has feelings for you, major feelings for you. You are a soulmate twin flame. There's a lot of hot passion here. And so they don't like that feeling because they don't like not being in control. So they have feelings for you. It's not like they don't, but they created like such like being an asshole, like so much, and not wanting to bend and wanting to play games and wanting to like that. Now they're looking and they're saying, well, I made a mess of the relationship. It's like, I hope that you'll come back. I hope which you would never come back. Why would you come back? So like I said, they're looking at themselves, which had to happen, which Again, unconditional love makes us do that, makes us stop and look at our own behavior when we care. So that this person is passionate, they do care. I want to just see, because it's like forgetting oneself. Yeah, so again, like, and that a lot of times happens like when you get so caught up in your wound, you get so caught up in your wounds, you don't see anything else. You get so caught up in yourself. It's like there's an internal world and there's an external world. And when people go through trauma, they go inward. And the problem is that until they heal, they keep reliving the same type of experience. So this person here, your person that you're connected to, really needs to do major shadow healing. They're seeing it, like, again, that they have things, and that's the first sense, because I feel like before you were like, I'm not dealing with this, again, separated from them, they thought that they could do whatever the fuck that they wanted. So no one really challenged them, because you don't all of a sudden become a parasite. You're a parasite because it works for you. It's like, this is, you get what you want. And so you get it for a certain amount of time. And then when you suck everything out of that one person, you move on to the next. So this person is very codependent. And with that type of codependency comes a lot of attachments. It comes toxicity. And so what happens is, when with codependency like this, you do forget yourself. And so this person got caught up like in their fantasy land, even though you weren't reacting like to them. Like I said, you separated. I don't even feel like they noticed. They were so caught up in their game of trying to control this whole thing that they didn't even notice that you left, because you didn't fight, you didn't argue, you didn't say anything, you didn't scream. This person wanted you to do all those things. By the time they realized that you separated because you just walked away, they realized I forgot myself, meaning the whole point of what they wanted was they wanted you to give them more attention. They wanted to feel like they were in control. And what they wound up doing was they wound up pushing you away. So, like I said, got caught up in the drama, and we see what they really wanted. So, the way this is actually a psychological reversal played out, like what your person did. They got completely in their own way, which is why they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed. So let's look at the wound. I know I said I want to see what they're going to do, and we are going to look and see what they're going to do, but I want to see like what needs to be healed. And not just for them, but for you as well. Okay, lies, illusions. This person doesn't like who they are. And because they don't like who they are, they try to, like, again, make people perceive that they're a certain way. I believe that this person came across rude, mean, not really friendly, like they didn't care, like purposely didn't give you anything, purposely did made you not feel good, because again, they were afraid of that passion. They were afraid of that connection. They were afraid that you'd see too much, know too much, and they don't like who they are. It's again, which a lot of times when we have shadows and we have a lot of spiritual blocks, we have a lot of trauma, that's what happens, because when we don't know, the person needs a lot of healing. So I believe you came into this person's life to help them heal. And you might not like that answer, but I'm saying that because they still have a lot of strong feelings for you, but I feel like they played so many games, and their games just made them have even more strong feelings for you, because this is a divine connection that they're supposed to learn a spiritual lesson. And what happens is, if you don't learn a spiritual lesson, you kind of feel bound to a person, like you can't move forward and you can't leave, like you're stuck, because this person needs to come to you and talk to you in order to like actually work through this situation. But now they're caught up in their pride and they're embarrassed, and they're, you know, they would have to again like show that they on one part lied, that what they showed you was an illusion. They're not that strong. They're not that confident. They're not that mean person that they wanted you to believe that they are. They overcompensated. A second chakra imbalance, again, is this person's identity. Is a lot of times when we don't know who we are, when we don't like who we are, we detach from those aspects of self and we wear a mask. Your person wears a lot of masks. So you'd see that their life is kind of a little bit like an illusion. It's not exactly as they showed, and they're nervous about that. But unconditional love, if there's really unconditional love, you're not really going to care. Let's see, impatient. So again, like I said, they're going to get impatient. I feel like now you're also being triggered because you're like, this person is slow as molasses to like learn and to like and understand love is patient, love is kind. That is something that you need to, again, to embody if you're dealing with a person on a lower vibration. And this person's on a lower vibration because they need a lot of healing. But however, they're getting impatient because again, whatever they're doing, they're not getting a reaction from you. And I don't even really feel like they're doing anything. I feel like they're not doing anything, and that's what they expected, to get a reaction because they expected you to chase after them, fawn all over them. They can feel that this is a deep connection. So let's see, are they going to do anything at all? Because as far as right now, they're scared and they're not doing anything. They're just kind of like embarrassed, looking at their actions, looking pretty much at everything, at how they behaved with you, seeing you're not there, and looking at their life and being like, why did I do this? And that's making them look at, their toxicity, their bad relationships, what they need to heal. Now, again, it could be also creating healing within inside you, where, again, if you have feelings, this person's taking a long time. You're going to have a lot of patience if you want to be with this person. I try to forget you, but it's not working. I always feel your presence with me. I'm magnetically pulled to you, so they can't let go. And that's, again, a soulmate twin flame relationship because you can't control love. And if you have that type of connection, understand there's a reason why. It's not just because this person's supposed to come into your life and fix your life. It doesn't work that way. They come into your life and it's like a major upheaval. You may be going through a major upheaval. They may be going through an upheaval. I feel like you're going through a change. They're going through a change. Their change is traumatic. Your change is traumatic, but you're more balanced. So it's not as bad. You're confident in yourself. This person didn't expect you to be confident in yourself. Again, from whatever they perceived. I feel like roles have reversed, and that happens a lot of times with the soulmate twin flame relationship. We have a runner and a chaser, and now this person is going to, I believe, begin to chase you. Right now, they're afraid, but they can't shut off their feelings. They can't get out of this space. Like I said, they're stuck, and they're about to like blow. They don't know when they're going to like reach out to you. They'll probably do it like one day just out of the blue, that they didn't know that they were going to do it. They just couldn't hold back anymore. Because again, there's love here. They care. It's just they were an asshole. And now that they know that they have to like be humble and come back and apologize, and they're embarrassed. They've never had to do this before. It's and they want more, and they're not used to being in this type of position. They're used to other people wanting more of a relationship. So I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. If you resonated with this, let me know again and write the word Spirit Descending in your comment bar if you want to win a free reading with me. Also, check out my other YouTube channel. I have the Psychic Soul Healer channel if you're not a Virgo and you have other placements. Also, if you are interested in getting shadow healing, definitely check out my subscriptions. I have a $7.99 subscription, I have a $9.99 subscription, and a $20 subscription. All subscriptions include inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, breath work, meditation, EFT, NLP, some NLP anyway, and a lot of other healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma, because when you heal trauma, you have to go back into the situation and you have to integrate it. It's not just about this new awareness. You actually have to cultivate the new way of being, because when you are spiritually blocked, you're perceiving your situation or yourself from a limited perception. So, in order to heal, you have to see yourself in a more empowered place. You have to see yourself different. You At one place you saw yourself in a disempowered place. It meant that it created fear in your life. It's making you not be able to be grounded and present in the moment, be at ease, to vibrate at the vibration of the universe, which is unconditional love, by just being at peace and having gratitude for just being. Otherwise, what happens is we're stressed out. And so, like I said, the gift of style was the word. So you want to always get back into that unconditional love. And the way that you do it is by embodying the things that you love, by again finding out what you're passionate about and really, again, diving into that, feeding it, because that's going to create a whole new world for you. Again, this is how we give Jesus the wheel. This is how we let the universe take over. Because then the universe conspires to bring us everything that creates a synergy that takes us out of the world that we're in into a whole other new world. All right, Virgo. Until next time, be true to you. I hope that you'll tell me that you've quantum leaped the next time we share time together. All right. Bye.